I'm going to show you a few ways of getting help in a Jupyter notebook. I'm going to show you how to use tab completion for the columns, how to use tab completion for the attributes and methods, and then how to use Shift-Tab-Tab to bring up the documentation. So let's go ahead and look at our data frame like this. Now, one tip that I use all the time is to select a single column. So let's say I've opened up these square brackets and I have a column name that is a string. I begin my string and then I start typing out the column name. So say from station name, and I just type in the first few characters. Then I press tab and all of a sudden it will complete the column name for me. So this is a great way to ensure that you are spelling the column name right. So the tab completion will help you with that. If you have, let's just say, a column where there are multiple of the same, there are multiple potential columns that it could be, you press tab and you will get this little drop down menu, and then you can just select the column that you want like that. All right, so that is one way to use tab completion. Another way to use tab completion is when we look more into attributes and methods. So far, we've really only looked at the head and tail method. So if we press dot right here and then press tab, you'll get a list of all of the attributes and methods that are available to a pandas data frame. There are an enormous amount, over 200. Thankfully, only a smaller subset of these can be used to basically give you all the power in pandas. But regardless of that, this is a very nice way to bring up all the available attributes and methods to your data frame. If you start typing out your whatever method you're trying to use, it'll just narrow down, and then you can search for it in the call or search for it with your arrow keys and find the particular method that you want. All right, so let's just say we've picked this core method. Let's find the correlation. Now, so you've picked a method and you want to figure out how to do it. Now, you can obviously look this up online, but you can also stay in the notebook. So once you've discovered this attribute or method, you can press Shift-Tab-Tab. So hold down Shift, press Tab once and then twice, then you can let go, and it'll bring up the documentation. So it'll show you all the different parameters. It'll give you a description of what the method does, and then it'll talk about what are the possible values for those parameters. So you'll see me doing this all the time within the lessons. I will not be verbalizing that I'm doing Shift-Tab-Tab. So you should just know that when you see the documentation pop up, I've pressed Shift-Tab-Tab. So these are the three things that will really help you work through a Jupyter notebook and work in pandas. Use tab completion for the columns, use tab completion to discover the attributes and methods, and then use Shift-Tab-Tab to bring up the documentation.